Welcome back to the Lynn Miller Room here at the AAC on the campus of Morehead State University. This edition of the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. Rifle coach Walt Rybka has joined us now. And, Coach, getting ready for the season. The 20th, Jacksonville State, the first match. Tell us a little bit about this year's team.
Oh, this year's team, I think, is looking up. We've got 3 new freshmen, 1 walk-on, and 2 recruited people, and they're all doing remarkably well. I'm very happy with the new crop. I think we're doing okay.
Now, how does the preseason? I know every time we have you on, people ask me about, rifle, because a lot of schools don't have rifle. We've had a successful program. You've had some great teams here. So how do you get ready for the season? What's the conditioning factor for the rifle team?
I practice. It's all you can really do. This year, most of our matches are clustered together into one, mass, and that's going to be rough on us, I think. We're not going to have a lot of rest between times, and it's going to be a kind of a hurry up and move it season.
A lot of people may not know that your practice area, your game area, is in the Blanton auditorium. That's where the shooting range is, and so the more shots, I guess, you get off, the better practices you have.
Well, actually, we're down in the basement of Blanton, and we're completing some pretty extensive range improvements. We've got some new paint. We've got some new furniture coming in. The area looks great now. The other coaches are going to wonder what I did to get all this. And I don't know what to tell them.
Well, you have a successful program, and the kids really enjoy coming here and getting their education and shooting for you. The fact that, over the last little bit, what was it, several years ago, we hosted the OVC Rifle, and then you got your some new targets I think you were talking about last year. So the improvement's been there. As a rifle coach, a lot of rifle coaches always talk about getting overlooked. You have to feel happy with the support you get.
I'm absolutely ecstatic about all the help that we're getting from the university. We've got electronic targets, which is something a lot of schools don't have, and we do have good support from the people that are around us, and it's been really appreciated. The kids like it, and I just can't say enough about it.
Ohio Valley Conference is a very tough rifle conference. You have some of the, not only in our area, some of the best programs in the nation in your conference.
Absolutely, and we're shooting against 2 of them this weekend. Jacksonville has always been, for the last few years at least, has been in the top 10 in the country, really in the top 8 because they've made it to the championships. Columbus State is moving up. The reason we're shooting Columbus State at Jacksonville is because Columbus State still doesn't have a range. They normally shoot at Fort Benning, and Fort Benning is really giving them a hard time about giving them weekends to shoot. They get to practice during the week, but weekends are tough. So we're going to meet Columbus State at Jacksonville, with Jacksonville as just a host site.
And, of course, also a team that has some great success or have had even won a national title, I think, is Murray State. And that might have been a few years ago,
yeah,
but a great tradition of rifle down at Murray State.
Very much so. Murray's been a tough competitor for a lot of years. It started way back when, like you said, probably 25 years ago. And they've been continuously in that top 10 or 12 teams, and they're always kind of scary.
I know that you see the VMIs and the UT Martins and as you mentioned, Jacksonville State and Columbus State, and you also every year it seems like you go to Columbus to shoot Ohio State, and that that's a bigger program than us.
Oh, way bigger. Yeah, I think what is Ohio State has got 50,000 students or something like that, so they have a lot to draw from. They have a lot of recruiting power.
But it's also, you kind of mix and match your schedule, and the kids get different tastes of different areas and different programs, and that kind of a wide variety of the different programs, but also all quality programs that you shoot against.
Absolutely, we're shooting against a lot of tough teams this year, and it's going to be a tough schedule.
Walt Rybka has joined us, a rifle coach here at Morehead State University. Let's talk a little bit about personnel. You said you have 2 seniors on your team. Tell us a little bit about them.
Our 2 seniors are going to be Hannah Wagner, who's a nursing major, and she will be graduating. and Rob Gagliani, who is, well, I'm not actually sure what he's supposedly majoring in right now. I think he's changed majors 2 or 3 times. Theoretically, it's going to be political science, government type thing, and he will be losing his eligibility. I don't think he's going to graduate.
But, you take a look at your roster, and you have many states. You got the Pennsylvanias, the Marylands, and of course you've got some local kids, Kentucky-wise, Wisconsin, and even New York. And, as a coach, you get out there and get the best of the best. And I know that, on a rifle budget probably, it's not good, to have you have all these kids coming in wanting to get their education here at Morehead State.
Exactly, and that's we do provide. Well, you probably know that the rifle team was in the top 10% of all rifle teams in the country academically last year, and we're maintaining that. I try to bring in kids that want to go to school as well as shoot, and most of the time it works out pretty well.
Okay, now for the people who always get on me because I don't ask the rifle questions, or they don't know a lot about the rifle. There are 2 categories that you do at each meet. So let's go through that. Tell us a little bit about that and how they differ.
Well, actually, we shoot 2 events. We like to call them 2 events. The air rifle part of the match is identical to Olympic shooting. It's the same target, the same equipment, the same distance, no difference. So if you've seen Olympic air rifle shooting, you've seen the same type of air rifle shooting that we do. The small bore shooting is done with a .22 caliber rifle. It's slightly different from the Olympic event in that we shoot at 50 feet, whereas the Olympics, they're shooting at 50 meters outdoors. But it's still a 3-position event where you're shooting standing, kneeling, and prone, and you shoot the same number of shots. It's just on a reduced target, on a reduced range.
And of course, then as well as you said, you have electronic targets now that add up all that, which is probably a lot faster and probably a lot happier as a coach that you don't have that. Of course, I always kid people is that, they used to ask me to stand behind the target and hold the targets up, but that didn't work out too well. So
it's probably not a good idea.
No, probably not a good idea. So what would make you happy with this club this year? Walt, tell us a little bit what you expect out of this bunch.
I'd like to see us finish in the top 15. Maybe even in the top 10, that'd be nice. The possibility is there if we can keep everybody healthy. The last few years, it's always boiled down to you shoot 5 and you count 4. Yeah. We'll have 3 really hot shooters and 2 shooters that are shooting while they're sick or something like that. And while we don't, we don't have twisted ankles and broken arms and physical injuries very often, for some reason we seem to have some sickly people. I don't know what that's from.
But you mentioned that though, the fact that when you're sick and you can't breathe and everything, when you're trying to get aim, it does affect you.
Very much so.
It would be like a quarterback with a broken arm out there, because if you can't breathe, you're moving or whatever, and it could cost you, a centimeter, and that could cost you the match.
A centimeter would be a miss. We're talking millimeters here. It's we're trying to hit something that's the size of a period at the end of a sentence. That's what you're trying to hit. So even Coach Ballard will be here in a second, so that's what he's going to have to start doing, getting smaller targets. Smaller targets. And that way his players might, could hit those targets a little better. See if you practice against that, and then when you get out in the game. But, Walt, we appreciate you being here. Jackson State and Columbus State this weekend down at Jacksonville, Alabama. Then the home meet on October 27th against UT Martin. Akron, Ohio State. You got Jacksonville and Murray coming in in November, and of course, then you after a couple more matches, you take some time off, and of course the OVC championships in February. Of course, this year we're hosting it again, which is a big honor. I know it's a rotation, but it also adds a little bit to your duties during about that time. It does. It does.
So, Coach, we appreciate you being here. Well, good luck. We'll have you on. We'll talk about it once the season gets started and you get deeper in it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, Walt Rybka, the coach at Rifle here at Morehead State University. We'll come back with more. This is the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.